An anime's protagonist is typically a hero who does their best to battle the forces of evil. But it's not always the case. Some anime heroes have a reputation for committing crimes worse than their rival antagonists. The distinction between villains and heroes isn't always clear-cut. Frequently, the protagonist and antagonist are two competing figures battling for opposite causes. Along the journey, the antagonists occasionally make morally superior decisions, and the protagonists aren't always in the right. Hey anime lovers, today we will be taking a look at the top 10 anime heroes more evil than their villains. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to like and subscribe down below, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 10 is Makishima and Akane from Psycho Pass. While Akane was never actively evil in Psycho Pass, she worked as a servant of an evil system. Meanwhile, antagonist Makishima Shogo used horrible and cruel means to try to accomplish an ultimately positive goal. The duality between Makishima and Akane is tricky to define morally, but it's clear that the true antagonist of Psycho Pass is the civil system that Akane helps protect through most of the first season. If it weren't for Makishima Shogo, many people's eyes wouldn't have been opened to the flaws of the civil system. Number 9 is Kai and Ren from Cardfight Vanguard. The primary antagonist of Season 1 of Cardfight Vanguard, Ren was one of the strongest Vanguard players around. After unlocking the power of Psyqualia, Ren began to hurt others around him, including his former best friend, Kai. However, Kai's actions in Season 3 of Cardfight Vanguard were far worse than anything that Ren did in Season 1. Ultimately, Kai put the entire world at risk just to be better at games than Ren and Itachi, making him the true villain of the series. Number 8 is Angelo and Nero from 91 Days. Angelo and Nero Vanetti are the central figures of 91 Days. A moonshine salesman with a desire for revenge may not seem worse than the son of a mafia boss, but it becomes increasingly more difficult to decide which is the crueler of the two. Angelo ruins the lives of his friends and himself to get revenge on Nero, while Nero actively participates in organized crime. However, Angelo wasn't raised in the mafia life like Nero was. He chose to become part of it to get his revenge. Number 7 is Thorfinn and Askeladd from Vinland Saga. Thorfinn's journey in the later seasons of Vinland Saga reflects the path of a true warrior, but in Season 1, Thorfinn ended up becoming the same as the man he hated most, a mercenary for hire. Both Askeladd and Thorfinn killed others for payment. The only difference was that Thorfinn's payment was dueling Askeladd. While he was only in his late teens, Thorfinn was old enough to know that what he was doing was wrong. Askeladd was arguably more morally righteous than Thorfinn because his mercenary work was to survive, while Thorfinn's was only guided by the desire for revenge. Number 6 is Hyakkimaru and Tohomaru from Dororo. Hyakkimaru was dealt a terrible hand at the start of life, and his brother, Tohomaru, lived a very easy life in comparison. However, what Hyakkimaru did throughout Dororo to get his real body back is difficult to excuse. While Tohomaru only ever wanted to fight against Heikimaru, the protagonist was willing to kill anyone if it meant regaining the parts of his body that were lost in their father's deal with demons. Ultimately, Tohomaru is an angsty rich kid, but Hyakkimaru did much worse. Number 5 is Sasuke and Itachi from Naruto. While Sasuke wasn't the main protagonist, he was certainly the secondary protagonist of the original Naruto. On the other hand, Itachi was treated as an evil antagonist who killed his entire clan in cold blood. In reality, Itachi's true personality ended up being the reverse of what fans were led to believe once he was revealed to be a hero who carried out horrible orders to save his younger brother. Meanwhile, Sasuke shifted his loyalties by the end of the original series to become the new villain of the story for Shippuden. Number 4 is Eren and Zeke from Attack on Titan. At one point, Zeke Yeager felt like the main antagonist of Attack on Titan. After a few battles against Levi that were way too short, fans were introduced to his plan to remove the Eldian's ability to have children. However, Eren's rumbling plan turned out to be much worse. Zeke was never a good person, but his brother, Eren, turned into one of the cruelest villains in anime history. If the Eldians had listened to Zeke's plan from the beginning, every living Eldian and the rest of the world could have been safe from Eren's rumbling. Number 3 is Lelouch and Zero from Code Geass. Lelouch's role in Code Geass is complicated. Zero was one of anime's most iconic heroes, but Lelouch by Britannia is one of anime's most iconic villains. The dual role that he played in the story was completely different from Suzaku, who mostly tried to do good. Even though Lelouch did a lot of good for the world, his actions were undoubtedly more nefarious than the knight who served as both his best friend and one of the major antagonists. In the end, Suzaku even took the mantle of Zero. Number 2 is Gon and Meruem from Hunter x Hunter. Despite starting Hunter x Hunter's Chimera Ant arc as the lovable protagonist and the evil king, Gon and Meruem's personalities took completely different turns. Gon became a monster who was willing to do anything or hurt anyone for revenge, and Meruem became like a normal human who just wanted to play games. While Poof and Yuppie were threats to humanity that couldn't be ignored, Meruem and Pitou were arguably more morally righteous than the humans by the end of the arc. It's a tragedy that Meruem never got the chance to fully explore his humanity, as he could have been the humans' greatest asset in the upcoming Dark Continent exploration. Number 1 is Light and L from Death Note. Not only did L have one of the most badass character introductions in anime, but he also stayed as one of the central figures in Death Note. While Light used his Death Note and smarts to fulfill his god complex, L used his genius detective skills to make the world better. Light may have had good intentions at first, but he quickly snowballed out of control. L was the heart of the story, and Death Note wasn't the same without the sweets-loving detective and his odd friendship, rivalry with Light. And that's it for my top 10 anime heroes more evil than their villains. Please make sure to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.